MSc Yoga, first paper, Principles of Yoga and Mental Health. Question and answers. Explain the powers and functions of the subconscious mind. Functions and powers of the subconscious mind. First one is sensation. Sensations are experienced both by the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. For example, when we are asleep at night, our conscious mind is subdued, yet we are able to listen to a phone ringing or smelling something burning. This is because our subconscious mind is still active and it enables us to feel these sensations. Interestingly, just as the subconscious mind enables us to feel certain sensations, it also enables us to block out certain sensations. I have demonstrated this several times in my seminars, where people have given local anesthesia to themselves by using only the power of suggestions. This is called as sensations. Then second one is movement. What happens when a mosquito bites you when you are asleep? You immediately slap on it, even though you are still asleep and your conscious mind is inactive. How does this happen? This is because your subconscious mind, which is active even you are asleep, also has control over your bodily movements. This is an existent piece of knowledge because it indicates that bodily performance can be enhanced by giving suggestions to the subconscious mind. You must have heard that coaches of sports team often given a pep talk to the players before sending them off to the field. Before sending the players to the field. What is that? It is just positive suggestions. Then third one is reflexes. What happens when you accidentally step before foot on a burning cigarette? Do you think, oh, this feels hot, let me lift my foot, and then lift your foot? No, you first immediately remove your foot and then do all the conscious thinking and the cursing, which is controlled by the subconscious mind. It serves to protect our body from injury. Then fourth one is conscience radar. Conscience radar. It is a common experience that whenever we are thinking about doing something wrong, a voice comes from within. Don't do it. We call it the voice of our conscience. Technically speaking, it is our subconscious mind, is the seat of our wisdom, and is hence in a positive to assess the desirability of an action. Thus, it is a protector of both the body and the mind. Fifth one is telepathy. Has it ever happened to you that just when you were thinking of someone, that person called you or dropped by your house? This indicates that when we think of someone with a strong desire or intense feelings, the other person receives that message and thinks about us too. Our intense feelings attract that person towards us. This is called telepathy. Telepathy works no matter how far two people are. This is a power of the subconscious mind. Sixth one is storehouse of memory. Most people believe that memory is a function of the conscious mind, but in reality, it is actually a function of the subconscious mind. Everyone has immense memory power. The reason why some people seem to have less memory is because they have not cultivated it. Memory is like a wild elephant. It has a lot of power, but you cannot use it if you do not train it. Techniques for training one's memory have been developed by many scientists. So we should train our mind like a trained elephant. Trained wild elephant. Then seventh one is emotional quotient. How do we know that the control over emotions rests with the subconscious mind? Let me explain it this way. We all have heard the saying, love is blind. Think of how this saying originated. When we are overcome by emotions such as love, do we make cool, calculated and logical decisions? In fact, we totally bypass logic. That is, we bypass the conscious mind, which could have helped us in making logical and informed decisions. That is why we say love is blind. Similarly, when we are under the influences of negative emotions such as jealousy, hatred, anger, etc., our actions will be completely based on negative emotions. After these emotions abate, we might realize that we have taken an unreasonable decision. This shows that control over emotions rests with the subconscious mind. Otherwise, we would have taken logical decision under the influence of emotions. Emotions, some examples we are taking here. Positive and negative. Positive, love. Hated, negative. Positive, mercy. Negative, anger. Positive, compassion. Negative, fear. Positive, forgiveness. Negative, jealousy. Positive, thankfulness. Negative, sorrow. Positive, bliss. Negative, anxiety. Positive, faith. Negative, doubts. Positive, tolerance. Negative, intolerance. Eighth one is knowledge. All of us are aware of the story of Sahadeva in Mahabharata, a Hindu religious epic. He was omniscient. You must have heard of Nostradamus and his forecast which he made centuries ago. Most of his forecasts have come true. How did this happen? The answer is yes. The subconscious mind in each of us is omniscient. We were ignorant of this fact all these years. Once we understand the power of the working of the subconscious mind and learn how to wield it, we can access its vast storehouse of knowledge. Many experts have developed several techniques of mind control and they teach them in training workshops worldwide. By learning such techniques, we can gain access to the unlimited treasures in our own subconscious mind. Ninth one is wisdom. There is an Indian saying that wisdom is the domain of the world. But in reality, we all have wisdom inside us in the subconscious mind. The ability to take correct decision in a given situation in life is called wisdom. When we are in a difficult situation and cannot come to a decision, instead of looking elsewhere, we should turn to ourselves. Our subconscious mind is always ready to give the best counsel. Be sure wisdom is with all of us, including the young. Then 10th one is creation of opportunities. People often tell me, only if I had gotten an opportunity I would have done. I ask them, who do you expect to give you an opportunity? They begin to fumble for an answer. Please understand pretty well that we should not wait for an opportunity but create opportunities for ourselves. Our subconscious mind has the capacity to create opportunities. If we clearly suggest to our subconscious mind what our goal is, it will create opportunities that are conducive to our goal. 11th one is mental clock. At some or the other time in our life, we have had an experience wherein we intended to go up early in the morning for an important work, and so we set an alarm for the time. But the next morning we got up on our own a minute before the alarm went off. How does it happen? The fact is, nature has placed a clock in our subconscious mind, which has also been provided the facility of an alarm. This clock gives us a lifelong and maintenance-free service. Very nice. 12th one is mental calendar. We saw that our subconscious mind has the facility of an alarm. Likewise, we also have the facility of a calendar. With the help of this calendar, the subconscious mind manifests its powers in time. Can you tell me how does a baby take birth exactly after 9 months and a week after conception? This is because our subconscious minds decides the time of the birth of the infant from a calendar available to it. This fact illustrates the point that nature has provided our subconscious mind with a calendar. Therefore, if we give a specific time limit to our subconscious mind for the achievement of our goal, it will see to it that we achieve it within the given deadline. 13th one, control over the autonomous nervous system. There are a number of systems operating in our body simultaneously, such as the digestive system, reproductive system, etc. The power of proper function and coordination of these systems rests with the subconscious mind. If any of the above mentioned system malfunction, we fall sick, and when the system regains normal functioning, the body gets cured of the disease. 14th one, production of disease. I know a lady who had a severe phobia of cancer. Day in and day out, the only thought that occupied her mind were those of cancer. She even had many nightmares about cancer. Her heartbeats would double on hearing about somebody's death due to the cancer. She always feared of being afflicted by this disease. She lived under constant fear of getting blood cancer. As mentioned earlier, fear is a negative emotion. A negative emotion sends negative suggestions to the subconscious mind, and you can now guess what happens after that. This lady developed a very terrible and rare disease. Our blood consists of 3 types of cells: white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. The production of level of these cells in the body blood is controlled by the autonomous nervous system. When the white blood cells count of the body increases without any obvious reason, it is known as blood cancer. The production and level of these cells in the blood is controlled by autonomous nervous system. When the white blood cell count of the body increases without any obvious reason, this is known as blood cancer. Euconyma. In case of this lady, all the 3 kinds of cells started multiplying uncontrollably. Even well-known cancer specialist of Mumbai said that there was no cure available for her condition and that she would not survive for more than 6 months. But she was determined. Since traditional medicine did not have any treatment available for her, she decided to deal with her condition simply by using the power of her subconscious mind. Today, 6 years since the episode, she is alive and well, and all her blood cells count have returned to normal. The doctors who had diagnosed her disease are surprised to see this miracle. This incident took place in front of me and inspired me to conduct extensive research on the powers of mind. I read a lot of books on the subject which, in spite of my medical training, led me to believe that the power of mind can be used effectively in healing. 15th one, control over death. When I first began telling people that they have control over their own death, and by that I did not mean suicide, they were skeptical. But think about it. What is death? Death is the state of the body when all its life systems stop working. We learned earlier that the control over all our bodily systems rest with the subconscious mind. So, when the subconscious mind orders the autonomous nervous system to shut down, death occurs. I have witnessed this power of subconscious mind in the death of my parents. A month prior to her death in 1995, my mother had started telling everyone that she would not live long, all her life. She had prayed that her death would be peaceful and natural, that without any disease. She also wished to pass away in presence of her husband only. For the 15 days preceding her death, my father was out of town. She passed away the same night he came back. She was writing the name of her God, and without a murmur, her heart stopped working. No disease, no pain back then. Back then, I did not think much about the significance of the circumstances preceding her death. But when I learned about the subconscious mind, I was able to appreciate the role of her auto-suggestions had played in making her death so peaceful. Similarly, in case of my father, subconscious mind also demonstrated its power, but unfortunately in an opposite way. My father believed that it was essential for every son to serve his parents. He was very keen that his children serve in his old age, and would express this wish every now and then. Since the father had fantasized all his life about being served by his children, his subconscious mind provided such an opportunity. In the final 5 years of his life, he suffered from prostate cancer, which required a lot of home nursing. He required assistance in everything from eating to going to the bathroom. All my brothers and sisters came to our home one by one and served him. Thus his wish was fulfilled. But he had to endure a lot of pain which could have been avoided had he programmed his subconscious mind appropriately. How many such beliefs do you hold that could lead you to self-destructive circumstances? It's worth thinking about it. Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. Deepak Chopra's Immoral book talks about how our expectations and intentions affect our aging process. He explains in great detail, going down to the atomic level, how thoughts and intentions influences our aging process and death. 16th one, control over the growth. Have you ever wondered how a little baby grows into a big adult individual? I am not asking this in a biological sense, but in a cosmic sense. What guides the multiplication of cells? What guides the growth of each and every body part of the baby's body to the normal size and proportion? Can you consciously grow a large nose instead of a small one? No, but this process of growth continues even when you are asleep. This means that the control over bodily growth rests with subconscious mind. I think we can understand. 17th one, control over healing process. Our subconscious mind has control over our healing process. Thus the healing process continues even when we are sleeping or when we are in coma. 18th one, control over pain. You might have heard that the help of hypnosis. Doctors have performed surgery and painless delivery without the use of anesthesia. How does this work? The doctor or the hypnotist gives constant suggestions to the conscious mind of the patient, which are passed to the subconscious mind to block the sensations of pain. The subconscious mind responds to suggestions. As a result, the patient feels no pain. Thus, we can conclude that the control over pain rests with the subconscious mind. This is a process of the hypnosis. Then 19th one, control over the immune system. An interesting experiment was conducted by researchers at Harvard University, USA, and the saliva of a group of students was analyzed to determine the level of antibodies in their body. Antibodies are the proteins that destroy harmful germs entering our body through food and air. After this, they were shown a documentary on Mother Teresa. After watching it, their level of antibodies was checked again. What they found was that the antibody level in some students had increased, in some others it decreased, was remained constant in the remaining students. The experiment was continued further. The students were asked to write down their opinion about Mother Teresa and the documentary they had just viewed. The answers were analyzed and the students were classified into 3 categories. The students who had approved of her activities and praised her were in the positive response category. The third category consists of people who gave no specific response. When the outcome of the antibody test, its level and the students' responses were studied, a correlated found. The antibody level in students who had responded negatively had decreased. Those who had not given any specific response found no changes in their antibody level. This shows that a positive mental antibody makes one vulnerable to diseases by weakening the immune system. The control over immune system rests with the subconscious mind. If we want to remain healthy, we should think of positive health. We should think of positive health to improve our immune system. Then 20th one, control over the health. Our subconscious mind has control over the health. If we think positively about health all the time, we remain healthy. We think about disease, we get disease. So we must think and talk about good health all the time. So nice. 21st, control over every part of the body. Maharshi Mahesh Yogi is well known for conducting classes on transcendental meditation all over the world. He is also the guru of Dr. Deepak Chopra. He claims that he can levitate his body several inches from the ground during meditation. This is also known as yogic flying This power lies within the domain of the subconscious mind. This also shows that by conditioning our subconscious mind, we can gain control over every part of the body. Production of creativity thoughts. 22nd one. The origin of create thoughts is the subconscious mind. We can create whatever we want with the help of the subconscious mind. That creation can be a motive, a novel, or an industry. 23rd one. Spring of inspiration. Usually people wait to get inspiration from outside, but they do not know that there is a continuous stream of inspiration flowing within them. Whenever we decide to work for the achievement of a mighty goal, our subconscious mind provides us with the required inspiration. Inspiration is very important in the achievement of every goal because it motivates us to work towards its achievement. The very fact that you were tempted to read this book shows that you were inspired from within. Or listening these videos also. This book will help you access that spring of inspiration further. Spring of inspiration. We should inspire ourselves. Automatically we can reach our goals. Then 24th one, generation of energy. Many people feel that they are past the age where they can set a goal and accomplish it. But remember, once we decide upon a goal and show it to our subconscious mind, it generates the energy within us needed to realize the goal. The flow of energy continues till we accomplish the goal. For example, in Indian society, when parents decided to get their daughter married, a new and strong flow of energy sprouts in them, and you can see them more active than during their heady days. Where did this energy come from? Where did? It came from the generator switched on by the conscious mind. Switched on by the subconscious mind. By the subconscious mind only. 25th one, planning. If I were to ask you which of the minds was responsible for planning, most likely than not, you would say conscious mind. Even I used to think that even my plans would fail. I would recall the saying, man proposes and God disposes. I would thus feel dejected and hopeless and would wonder why God would baptize my plans. Actually, God was not subverting my plans, but my plans were failed because my subconscious mind had other plans for me. Very nice. This is because the power to plan for our life lies, which is subconscious mind. It has made that plan in accordance with the goal we have showed it, and we consciously make a plan contrary to its planning. We are doomed to fail. I recall an accident that I had witnessed many years ago, but which made sense to me only after I understood this concept. A student whom I knew clearly, his school exam with excellent marks and was ranked first in the class. He joined a commerce college with a burning desire to be an IAS officer. During his college years, he thought that he should try to get a part-time job. He applied for the post of clerk in LIC but did not clear their selection exam. While he was studying for the IAS exam, he tried his luck on several career fields. He applied for admission at Rural Management College and Xavier Institute of Labor Management. He was unsuccessful in his every effort. He then read an advertisement for a trainee journalist in Times of India and applied. He was called for an interview due to his high academic achievement but was not selected. In this way, 1.5 years passed. When it was time for him to give his IAS exam, he passed in the very first attempt. He was one of the few students from his state, Gujarat, to be recruited for IAS. He became the pride and enjoy of whole community. What is the moral of this story? Why was the student who definitely possessed to caliber to become an IAS officer rejected for positions for below his worth? This is because his subconscious mind had planned for him to become an IAS officer. So, any conscious planning that he did that was contrary to distracted him from his goal was made unsuccessful by his subconscious mind only. So, remember this new saying, conscious mind visualizes and subconscious mind realizes. Once again, conscious mind visualizes and subconscious mind realizes. 26th one, solution to all problems. Often we are stumped by a problem, be it financial, health related or social. Usually we try to solve it by consciously thinking about it and looking for a solution. We may do one of the many things like approach a family member or friend for advice, go to a psychic or an astrologer to attempts to find a solution from the cosmic, approach God through prayers. At times we are at a loss. Next time this happens to you, approaches your subconscious mind, reach the alpha state of mind, more on the later, and tell your subconscious mind about your problem. It will communicate a solution to you. I feel this a storehouse of wisdom and knowledge. Why not tap it to solve your own problems? A beautiful illustration of such an attitude is made by Akshay Khanna. Akshay Khanna in the movie Thal. When Aishwarya Rai asks him to accompany her to the temple, he refuses to go with her. Not because he does not believe in God, but because, as he puts it, I do not need to go to the temple to see the God because I feel his presence within myself. Tipu Sultan is said to have contemplated his war strategies with the aid of his subconscious mind. Surely, we too can give our subconscious mind a try. There is a fascinating role of subconscious mind in the discovery of insulin. Before the discovery of insulin, there was no medicine available to control diabetes. Dr. Frederick Banting, a Canadian doctor, was working hard towards finding a solution to this problem. One night he had a dream in which he saw that an extract from the pancreas of dogs can cure diabetes. The very next day he tried out the solution suggested in his dream and it worked. In this way, insulin was discovered. So, whenever we are unable to find an effective solution to any of our problems, we should go within ourselves and approach our subconscious mind with complete faith. It will never disappoint us. So nice. Whenever we are unable to find an effective solution, then immediately we should go to our subconscious mind. Definitely we can get the solution. 27th one, influence over the universe. Our subconscious mind has influence not only over ourselves but also over the entire universe. This may seem shocking to you. Yes, this may seem shocking to you, but let me explain. What happens when we drop stones in water, according to common observation, they sink. Yet in the epic Ramayana, when the monkey devotees of Rama dropped stones in the sea with Ram written on them, they floated. Not only did they remain afloat, but they even made a bridge from India to Sri Lanka. What was happening here? The monkey's devotion towards Rama activated their subconscious mind so strongly that they even made a stone's float. Here is another example of a legendary Saint Narsimha Mehta from Junagadh in Gujarat. Two episodes from his life are very illuminating. First was the marriage of his daughter Kunwarbai. Her marriage was celebrated with pomp and extravagance, even though Narsimha Mehta was penniless. It was believed that God himself had supplied the resources for the ceremony. In the second incident, Narsimha Mehta check was passed by his banker even though his bank balance was nil. These illustrate that our subconscious mind can call upon any person, even God, for help whenever needed. You must have heard of the miraculous powers of the two Indian ragas, the Deepak Raga and Raga Malhar. History provides evidence that when Tans sang the Deepak Raga, the heat and increased so much in the atmosphere that it had caught fire. Thereafter, Tanari had extinguished by fire by calling upon the rains by singing Raga Malhar. This way the subconscious mind can influence anything in the universe. Very nice. 28th one, magnetic power. There is a very touching story in Ramayana, an Indian Hindu mythological epic, about a tribal woman, Shabari, who had intense desire for Lord Rama to come and visit her at her house. If you think about it, it seems to be a very far-fetched desire. Why would Lord Rama visit the house of a tribal woman? But as well all know, it happened. On his way to search for Sita, Rama stopped by the house of Shabari, a tribal woman. Having the knowledge of the subconscious mind, how would one explain this incident? Shabari's burning desire activated subconscious mind which made Rama visit her place. In a way, Shabari's subconscious mind created a magnetic force which attracted Rama to her house. In a similar way, our subconscious mind can create a magnetic force to attract anything we desire. Only if we realize this, our life would be so much different. 29th one, unlimited creative power. All of you must have heard me story of Aladdin and his magic lamp. Aladdin and his magic lamp. When Aladdin rubbed his magic lamp, a genie would appear at his service that brought him whatever he desired. As a child, I believed this to be only a fiction, but as I grew up, I wondered if it was really possible to get such a magic lamp, and what I found was that we all have such a lamp within us. That is our subconscious mind. What we want it to do brings us what we want to do, bring and create that we want it to create. All the wonderful creations in the world, the Taj Mahal, the Eiffel Tower, the Microsoft Corporation, etc., are all creations of someone's subconscious mind only. 30th one, agent of God. Almighty has given his agent to help us in the form of subconscious mind. We do not need to go to the place of worship to feel his presence and seek his divine help. Our subconscious mind is a part of the supreme intelligence, but we were unaware unaware about it, and therefore we never approached it. Once we realize this fact, we will ourselves feel the power and presence of God within us. All of us have a subconscious mind that listens to our problems, gives a solution, provides us with unending opportunities, health, wealth, peace, and the strength to draw the cosmic power to fulfill all our desires. If we utilize its power for the betterment of mankind, its world will surely become a beautiful place to live in. 31st, spiritual quotient. SQ, spiritual quotient. Our morals, principles, ethics, values are together known as the spiritual quotient. The significance of SQ is far more than IQ or EQ for enduring happiness in life. Well-known personalities such as Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vinoba Bhave all had an exceptionally high SQ. That is why they are considered to be such great saints. In present day, people are concerned only with the development of IQ. They overlook the importance of UQ and SQ and hence live miserably.